My name is Barbara Meister. I work here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium as the Public Affairs Director. So that involves a wide variety of responsibilities, but mainly government relations, community relations, and dealing with the hospitality industry and public policy issues as they relate to affecting the aquarium and our ability to accomplish our mission. So I am also part of an internal initiative called, here at the aquarium, the Diversity and Inclusion Initiative. And what that is an effort that we identified in our strategic plan about 18 months ago to really give focus and attention to the issues of diversity, both the diversity of our guests and what they experience when they come here, as well as, and probably even more importantly, the diversity of our workforce. So when our strategic plan was underway and this initiative was coming to the forefront, I attended the Nonprofit Alliance Monterey County Conference in the fall of 2011, where I had the chance to hear Dr. John Powell speak. And what he spoke to really resonated with what we were struggling with, and what we are still struggling with and grappling with. And that is that idea of what he calls structural racialization. And it really opened up my eyes to the fact that, yes, we have good intentions, but our intentions are only so good as we have very explicit policies or regulations or processes that really get at or remove any of those barriers of implicit bias or racialization that we're not conscious of necessarily. And I could see that that was relevant to what we were struggling with here at the aquarium. Recognized about 10 years ago that the demographics of California were changing, that we were becoming a Latino majority population, and as such, our core market of visitors, if you will, have traditionally been Anglo, middle, upper class, highly educated, and somewhat more on the affluent side. But we recognize that market, just by numbers, is shrinking as the other demographics of particularly Latino and Asian cultures were increasing. So what were we going to do to make sure that the experience that people have was relevant to their culture? So as I said, about 10 years ago, we started to invest in marketing programs specifically to reach the Hispanic audience. So we do that through special events, Dia del Niño, Fiesta del Mar, where we'll do special Spanish language programming here and cultural programming that's appropriate to that community. We've done explicit marketing outreach in Spanish and Spanglish to reach that market. As you walk around the aquarium, you'll see that our exhibits are bilingual, both in Spanish and English. And again, that's a recognition that we need to change to reflect the changes of our visitor base if we're going to stay relevant, if we're going to maintain our visitorship and ultimately accomplish our mission. Where we recognize our need to improve is really in our workforce. As we look statistically at the demographic makeup of our workforce here, and there's about 500 of us right now during the peak summer season, usually about 470 employees year-round. People don't realize how big we are, but we are big. It takes a lot to run a place like this. So when we look at the demographic mix of our current workforce, we do have many people of color, Filipino, Latino, African American, but they generally tend to work in the lower wage, lower skill jobs. The food service, our restaurant and cafe, and our custodial department, and somewhat in our trades department. But as we look at our manager level of leadership, almost all of us look like me. And so we recognize that, we've really got to address this, and we've got to address it strategically, consciously, and smartly in terms of what are the barriers that stand in the way of us attracting talent from the Latino cultures and Asian cultures into those managerial positions. So we're just now beginning to struggle with those questions. How does this happen? What do we need to change? what in our hiring policies and procedures or systems are getting in the way of us finding talented people from Asian and Latino cultures. So we're just getting started with this initiative, and we're really looking forward to learning more from Dr. Powell in this conference and in follow-up conversations with him and with the Nonprofit Alliance in Monterey County as well. Got to make sure that people of different ethnic backgrounds and different age and race and ability are represented and involved, right? That would be my hope, that we are consciously building systems, procedures, policies that as a result, when you sit down at a table and in that room, will reflect people of all differences in one table.